You're a hairy wizard. Okay, first off, my name isn't Harry. Second off, you're a wizard, Harry. No, you're a hairy wizard. Look at this graph. A large amount of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you do enjoy the video and you want to help me out, please do click that nice red subscribe button down below. It's totally free and you can always unsubscribe later if you want. Thank you. Good day everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft mod showcase where today we're going to be checking out the ELECTROBLOB'S WIZARDRY mod. And of all the wizardry mobs I've seen over the years, this one is by far, I would say, the best because it just does exactly what it's supposed to. It just adds wizard robes, it adds wands and spells, and so many spells. Like, there's over 100 spells, I'm pretty sure. And there's also a bunch of mobs and summons and stuff. It's so sick. Let's just get into it. Also, if any of you do have suggestions for mod showcases you'd like me to do, please drop a comment down below saying what mod you'd like me to check out, and I will definitely consider it. So this mob has something like over 100 spells, as I was saying. Like, we can go into the thing here. I'll just show you like a quick list of them. Yeah, so see all these red books? All these red books are each individual spell. There has to be 100, at least 100. Like, there's so many, and they're all amazing. So anyway, let's get into things. So the first thing you want to make when you start off this mod, I would recommend the first thing you make is this, the Wizard's Handbook. And this is a complete guide of everything there is to do in the mod. So we're going to grab this here. As you can see, if we right click with it, it just opens up the book, and everything you need to know is inside this book. It's the ultimate guide to this mod. I'm not even kidding. So you can actually craft it by combining a regular book with a magic crystal. And to get a magic crystal, there's two different ways, right? So the first way is by finding a flower in the overworld. It spawns in any grass area, I'm pretty sure. And the other way is to find the ore underground. So when you get the flower, you can put it in a crafting table and it'll give you I'll just grab a crafting table to show you. You can put it in the crafting table and it'll give you 2 magic crystals, or you can find the ore and it's kind of a randomized chance of how many you'll get, but it could be more than 2, so it's probably better that way. So yeah, that's the 2 ways you can get the magic crystals. So once you get your magic crystal from the flower or the ore or whatever, you can combine that with a book and a crafting table, and that will give you this, the Wizard's Handbook. So yeah, this is a complete guide for everything to know, as I was saying. So it gives you introduction to everything. It has a complete index of everything you need to know. So if you are starting off with a mod, definitely use the book. Yeah, so anyway, the first thing we want to do is over here make a magic wand. So basically you can make a magic wand using a gold nugget, a stick, and one of those magic crystals we were talking about earlier. So once you find yourself a magic crystal, you can basically get started in the mod. So once you have your wand acquired, it's useless as it is at the moment. So like, this is just a completely blank wand. It doesn't do anything. As you can see, there's a little interface down here at the bottom left corner though, and yeah, that's kind of like mana, and it shows your spells too. So we got our basic one now though. All we have to do now is basically add spells to it, and we can do that by crafting an arcane workbench. And this is kind of the most important part of this mod, I'd say. Like, you have to use this for pretty much everything involving spells in this mod. So yeah, you can craft your arcane workbench using 3 stone, 1 lapis lazuli block, 2 magic crystals. I'd say just use the regular magic crystals because those are the cheapest ones to use. 2 gold nuggets and 1 piece of purple carpet, and that'll give you your arcane workbench. And if you right click on this here, as you can see, this is what it looks like. And in the bottom left corner, it uses magic crystals as it's kind of like a fuel source. So the fuel, or the magic system, is called mana in this mod, and mana does everything. Basically everything runs off of mana. So you can recharge your wand. If it runs out of mana, you can recharge it using magic crystals, and the same thing with your armor. So this magic wand, as it is currently empty. It says empty slot right under it. So what we have to do is we need to get a spell book and combine that with the wand to put spells onto our wand. So we can do that by making the very basic spell book. This is the absolute most basic spell you can make in the mod, and this one is called Magic Missile. So what you want to do is you want to put your book in your crafting table, surround it with 4 magic crystals, and that'll give you your Magic Missile spellbook. So we're going to grab this, and we can put this into our arcane workbench, and now we can combine that with our wand here. If we do that, nice little sound effect, and as you can see over on the right hand side, it now shows that we have 5 slots available for spells. So you can put a different spell into every one of these slots and combine it with the wand, and then you'll have 5 different spells on your magic wand. So yeah, it's really cool like that, and it won't use magic crystal, by the way, unless you are repairing it. So yeah, keep that in mind. So now we can take this out, and it will actually have our... you can use your, I meant to say, your B and N keys. You can change it in the controls config, but you can use your B and N keys to switch between your spells. Look at the bottom left corner of my screen. As you can see, I'm switching between my spells right now, so you can use B and N to go between them like this. So you can go up and down using B and N. And you can also shift and scroll, I think. Yeah, you can shift and scroll as well, if you want to do that. But as you can see, right now we have one spell bound to this wand, and that's called the Magic Missile. So if we can right-click with this, it shoots out a little... a little particle thing comes out of the wand when we do that, so that's really cool. That's our basic one, and this does like 1 heart of damage or something. It's probably the weakest. Actually, I think it, yeah, definitely is the weakest spell of them all, I'm pretty sure. And the way you can get more spells in this mod is by either trading with wizards who are over there, we'll get to those in just a second, or you can find them in dungeon chests. You can find the spell books in dungeon chests. So these regular spell books will be found in dungeon chests. I'll show you like the whole list of them. So all these spells are found in dungeon chests and in the generated structures in the mod itself. So you can find them in like wizard towers, you can find them at like artifact thingies. We'll get into that later, but all you need to know is basically you find all of these by exploring. Basically, you can't really craft any of the spell books in the mod. You have to actually go explore and find them all. You can only craft the Magic Missile one as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that's the only one that's craftable. So yeah, the rest of them you'll have to go explore for. But yeah, once you've crafted that, you can basically start combining spells onto your wand, and you can get 5 spells at a time. You can also use upgrades, we'll get to that in a second too, to increase the amount of spells that you can have. And also, there are scrolls, and scrolls are basically like, they're kind of like wands, but they're only temporary. It's only one use, and they're just not as good, basically, because you only get one use out of them. So this is what a blank scroll is. It's just literally a piece of paper and a string put together in a crafting table. That'll give you your blank scroll, and you can combine this in... We take out the wand for a second. We can combine this with our spellbook here in the arcane workbench. You put the blank scroll in, and you can combine one spell. You can't put 5, only wands can have 5 at a time, but the scroll can have one spell. So we're going to put our Magic Missile book onto our scroll here. Click confirm, and that will use a magic crystal because it's going onto a scroll and not a wand. So we can take out our scroll of Magic Missile, and we can right click with this, and as you can see, it does the same thing as the wand. But if we go into survival mode and right click with this, it disappears as soon as we use it. So yeah, it's a one-time use. Scrolls are only one-time use. Wands you can use as much as you want, but you have to keep recharging the mana on the wands. So wands are definitely a lot better. So those are spells and scrolls. Well, they're kind of the same thing, but you just put the spells onto the scroll, and the scroll is only one-time use, but the wand that you have is unlimited use as long as you recharge it. Also, wands don't actually break as per se. They only go down to 0 mana, and then you have to recharge the mana. They don't actually like disappear when they get to 0. So that's a good thing to note. There's also these. So these are tomes, right? And with tomes, you can upgrade your wand. So there's 4 different stages of a wand. So we're going to grab all 3 of these here. Go back to our arcane workbench. So we're going to combine our magic wand with a tome of apprentice. So this is the next step up from the one we have. So as you can see, you put it in the top right corner here. And currently this is the very basic one that you have. So we can use our tome of Arcana, the apprentice one, on our novice wand. And that will make it into an apprentice wand, and now it has a lot more mana, and yeah, it's just a lot better of a wand because of that. And we can also use the advanced one, which is a step up from the apprentice one, and that'll give us 500 more mana. And yeah, again, it's just a better wand. And also, I think they use less mana too if you upgrade them. And then finally, we can use our master upgrade on this, and now it's a master wand. And there's also different elements. I'll get to the elements in just a second as well. But there's also different elements you can use with your wands, and you can also upgrade the different elemental ones as well. But I'll explain that in a bit because it's kind of confusing. So apart from the tomes, which allow you to upgrade your wand to the rank of master or whatever you want to get to, also I meant to say you can get the tomes by trading with the wizards in their battle towers or their wizard towers, whatever. Wherever you find them basically in the world, you can trade with them, and they will on rare occasion have the tomes for a trade. So there's also these things here which are upgrades. So these are wand upgrades, right? So we're going to grab, let's see, there's basically, okay, I'll explain them in detail. So this basically upgrades a wand to slowly regenerate mana over time. So this means that it will slowly gather, like once you use your mana, it will slowly come back to you over time. It is very slow, but at least it's something you don't have to keep using crystals to recharge your wand that way. There's also the wand range upgrade, which makes it so that for the Magic Missile, for example, when you upgrade this, it means that that will go further. and the same thing with like orb spells, that kind of thing. When you cast those, that effect actually goes further. It just as it says, it increases the range. You can probably assume what I mean by that. There's also the one duration upgrade. This allows you to cast cast certain spells for longer. So there's certain spells like summons, for example, where you summon in a mob and that will disappear after like maybe 10 seconds, but if you use this, it'll last a lot longer than the 10 seconds. So this is definitely a really good one to have. There's also the one cooldown upgrade. There's also a cooldown on some spells that you use that can take quite a while because they are quite powerful spells, but with this the cooldown will be a lot shorter and you can use them a lot more frequently. Then there's also the one blast upgrade. So there's certain destructive spells, like there's a meteor one, there's like an explosion, there's a fireball explosion one, there's a regular explosion, there's a bunch of explosion ones. This will increase the area of those ones, and ones similar to that. Then there's the attunement upgrade. So this increases the number of spells that can be bound to a wand. So this is the one I'm going to show you because it's kind of an important one. Then there's the wand melee upgrade. So this increases the damage of the mob, or of the wand when you hit a mob. So it just increases melee damage, basically. Then there's the siphon upgrade, which means that basically whenever you kill a mob, you can extract mana from that mob to restore the mana in your wand, basically. Then there's also the wand storage upgrade, which upgrades the mana capacity of a wand. So this will give you more mana in general. So we'll go back to our arcane workbench and we'll put in our master wand here. And we'll put in this upgrade. So this one decreases the cooldown speed of a wand. So we'll get this. And as you can see, well, this one doesn't really have any cooldown anyway. But if it was a spell that had like a pretty long cooldown, it wouldn't be as big a deal. It would be a lot shorter of a cooldown. So I think we can get rates the mana capacity of a wand. Yeah, we'll get this one too. So as you can see right now, the master wand itself has 2,500 mana, but if we combine the storage upgrade one, it now has 2,875. So definitely a good one. And we can also combine that again to get another 300, I think it is, 225-ish, I think, was it? Oh, wait, let's see. It's 375, I think. I can't even keep track. Anyway, and now we'll use the attunement one. And this, as it says, increases the amount of spells you can have. So this is now an extra slot that we can have for any spell that we want. And yeah, also these do use a lot of magic crystals, so just keep that in mind when you're using these. But yeah, we can just keep adding on slots here to our wand. So it'll just, I don't know what the maximum is. The maximum 8? I think it's 8, yeah. Yeah, the maximum is 8. So this goes up as far as 3. You can use 3 of the attunement ones. I don't know how much of the storage one you can use. Oh, it's 3 as well. Okay. It could be 3 of all of them, actually, now that I think about it. So that one is the siphon one. We'll try this one as well. So that one goes up to... That one goes up as far as 2. Okay. So the cooldown one goes to 2. The storage one goes to 3. The attunement one goes to 3. And the siphon one goes to, I think, 3 as well, maybe. Wait, where's the siphon one? Here we go. Is it just 1? Oh, it's just 1. Oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, we can have up to 8 spells at once now, and we have 3,625 mana as our maximum amount. So that's the most mana you can get, I believe, unless you use like wizard rubs as well to increase the amount. So I've got a couple of example spells for us to use here. So we're going to put these onto our wand. We'll grab these two and you'll see why in just a second. So we'll go over to our wand here. So there's 8 slots now. So we can put on this one, Earthquake. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. So we'll put on one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those, and one of those. And we'll click confirm. And now our wand has all 5 of those spells equipped, and also the regular one. I think we still have the magic missile as well, maybe. Wait, let's go down to them. So we have Metamorphosis, we have Celestial Strike, Earthquake, Force Field, Arrow Rain. I actually removed Magic Missile by mistake, but that's fine. Magic Missile isn't that good anyway. So yeah, first we're going to check it out is Metamorphosis, and this one basically works on certain types of mobs. So we have our Wither Skeleton here. We also have our Husk. And the way Metamorphosis works is basically if you right-click certain mobs with the Metamorphosis spell, they'll be transformed into the alternate version of themselves. And what you can do is you can right-click them again to transform them again. So now he's a Stray, and we can turn him into Wither Skeleton, Stray, and regular skeleton. So we're gonna leave him be anyway, and we'll go over to this guy, and we can turn this guy into a regular zombie and the husk because he has 2 versions. And I believe it works with zombie villagers too. You can turn zombie villagers into regular villagers. Don't quote me on that though, I could be wrong. So yeah, anyway, that's that spell. It's really cool. So the mods it works on too, but I'm not going to go into detail on it. So yeah, anyway, the next spell we've got is Arrow Rain. And this one, as you could have imagined, when you right click, you have to hold it down, sorry. Oh. Yeah. So you right click with it, and the area, you kind of have to like aim down a bit, but yeah, that one is really, really cool. There's so many arrows, holy crap. So you have to kind of aim down a little bit with it, but once you do, it'll then summon the arrows above your head and come down on whatever you're aiming at, or like roughly above whatever you're aiming at. And then there's force fields. If you right click, or hold right click, it'll summon a force field around us, a bubble. So stuff can't actually hit us through this. I don't know if mobs can walk through. I don't think they can. We're going to survival here. Hello. No, mobs can't walk in here. Also, projectiles can't come through either. And it goes without saying, but once you use your wand in survival mode, it will in fact lose some mana. As you can see, it's after using a bit of the mana here, it's the purple bar is. And then we have the earthquake spell. So if we hold right click on the ground again, this happens. That is so cool. That is so cool. Look at that. That's actually amazing, and it does so much damage too. Like, look how much damage does this guy. And he takes fall damage too on top of it. So it's 5 hearts kind of, and then a little bit of fall damage as well. So that's so cool. I really love that spell. Then there's Celestial Smite, and you can probably guess what this one is. But in case you can't, right click, and yeah, it just gets absolutely zapped from the sky. So it's not actually lightning. It's more like a beam. It's like a mini asteroid or something just smacking him. Which is crazy, and he'll also be set on fire from that too. Yeah, so those are just a little taste of the spells. I'm not going to go into like all of them because there, as I said, there's 100 and that would take like forever. So I won't do absolutely every spell, but I'll do a couple of the scrolls as well, just to show you a few more. So this one is called Scroll of Homing Spark. As you could have probably guessed, it basically just... Okay, it didn't work that time actually. But it's supposed to target the nearest entity, but sometimes it doesn't, I guess. So if it's close enough, it'll like kind of lock on, I think. So it works. I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, you can basically throw lightning, like little balls of lightning at your enemies. So that's really cool. It does decent damage too. So really sick. There's also the scroll of summoning Wolf Spirit. So you can right click this, and it'll summon our little guy here. So this is our wolf spirit, and if we attack this mob, he will then attack it. It works the same way as a wolf, basically, but he's just a bit stronger, and he's only temporary. He will eventually disappear after a while. So yeah, that's the wolf spirit doing his bit. And then there's also the lightning wraith, and this guy is basically a blaze, an electric blaze, and he's just hostile straight away. The wolf, however, will require you to attack first, and then he'll attack for you, but the blaze will just attack straight up. And he's actually getting destroyed here. Okay, there we go. Nice one. And these two, as I said, are temporary, but they will disappear after a while. So the next one is the Phoenix. And this one is my favorite by far, because look how cool this Phoenix looks, dude. It's so sick. So, you can attack him. And look at that. He just breathes fire on enemies. How sick is that, dude? It's so cool. And he actually does like a lot of damage. This guy is so insane. He's my favorite summon by far. Like that is so sick. Next one we have is Entrapment, and this one basically... Oops, I have to actually target him properly. I completely missed there. So this one, when you right click at a mob, it'll entrap them in like a little sphere, like a little purple and black sphere, and it'll slowly do damage to them, and it'll drag them up into the sky too. So it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but what it allows you to do is basically if you trap the mob, you can then attack it yourself. So I could trap this guy in a sphere, and then say I had a sword or something, I could just be like bam, 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 and he'd be dead. He'd be dead like that. So yeah, really cool. Boom, just like that. So the next one is the Greater Ward, and this one I believe is just like an effect spell. I think it gives you like extra mana for a while or something like that. I have no idea. But yeah, just to show you that you can also get effects from these spells too. So I just tried to pick out some of the summon ones to show you like specifically that you can summon in thingies to help you fight. All right, and moving on, we've got the Wizard Robes. So basically these can be crafted using this stuff called Magical Silk, and this is crafted using 4 string and 1 magic crystal and a crafting table like so. And that will give you 2 of those. You can use any crystal, but just use the cheapest one because it's just the easiest one to use. So yeah, you can craft 2 of those every time, and then you can use it in your crafting table like so to craft yourself the wizard gear. And this is the very basic gear that you need to actually get started. And once you have this crafted, you can then enchant it, and it actually gives like special enchantments. It gives like magic protection and stuff. Wait, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Magic protection. There's also like shock protection and different elemental ones that'll help you as well. So that's what you can use. You can basically just use the regular one as it is. You can use this armor the way it is. It actually gives decent protection. It's +5, so it's not bad. You can use that as it is, or you can find this thing. So this is the Imbuement altar. So let's move on to some structures for a second. Basically, there's kind of 5 to 6-ish main structures in this mod. There's wizard towers, there's obelisks, there's shrines, there's library ruins, and there's artifacts. I don't really count the crystal flowers as one, I would say. So basically, wizard towers are where wizards spawn. So this is what they look like. They can spawn in the sand variant. This is the cobblestone variant. There's probably more variants as well, I think. And this is where you'll find your wizards. So they won't always be nice, friendly wizards. There are also evil wizards too. So you have to fight those guys. They'll be aggressive straight away. But the nice ones will trade with you. So the elements I was talking about are, we got lightning, earth. This is, I don't know, he's just a regular one, I think. Ice, fire, healing, and necromancy. I might have missed one in there actually. Wait, I'll just check the... There's healing, mystery. Yeah, I think mystery is the same. Yeah. Mystery, fire, earth, necromancy, lightning, and ice. Yeah, that's the ones. So this guy is just mystery, I think. The regular wizard is just mystery. I'm pretty sure, something like that. He's just a sorcerer or something. So we have each of the 7 wizards here, 7 different types. I just put in 2 of the mystery ones because why not? And so they each specialize in their own thing. So as the storm mage will trade basically for lightning related spells, and he'll also on rare occasion give you like a piece of armor, I think, as well, and the different wands potentially too. So this guy will trade in earth spells. So this guy will allow you to trade for like any kind of spell basically. So this guy will trade in ice spells. He'll trade in the tomes. He'll trade in the this is a healing spell. And yeah, he can trade for like basically anything. So he's kind of a wild card, as you might say. So yeah, the wizards basically just, you want to find wizards because they're like the main way to get really good stuff in the mod. So if you come across a wizard tower, definitely do explore it because you might get a friendly wizard, or you can like find their chests, and there will be good stuff in the chests too. So that's the wizard tower. Then there's obelisks, and obelisks look like this. And this is basically a way for you to get some really cool stuff from these ruins, right? So we'll get to the guys who actually spawn from this. You can see there's a spawner in the screenshot here. That's very important for some of the stuff in the mod, so we'll get to that in just a second. But that's the obelisk, and then there's a shrine. So these ones are rarer, and these basically are like a circle. I'll just show you the screenshot. These guys are like basically a circle, and there's like a magically protected chest here. So there'll also be a chance where wizards will spawn in these structures, and they'll put up a force field around you, and the only way to leave the force field will be to kill the wizard. So yeah, that's something that is very crazy. Then there's the library ruin, and this basically is where you can get your imbuement table. And then you can use this in order to make some of the really cool armor and stuff. So first off, as I was saying, you can find the Imbuement table in the library ruins. So that's the only way to actually get this. You can't craft it, unfortunately. But yeah, so basically, once you have your regular set of wizard armor, what you want to do is you can get yourself an Imbuement altar once you find the library ruins, and then you will need to basically get yourself some spectral dust of whatever element you want to use. So we're going to grab the wizard hat here. We're going to grab the magical crystals too, and some remnants. And as I was saying earlier, the remnants spawn in the obelisk structures. So the remnants will spawn in the obelisk structures, and depending on whatever element the obelisk is, it's that remnant that will spawn from the spawners in that. So we're going to spawn in this guy here, and this one is a fire one, I think. Yeah. So what we want to do is, do I have any spells to actually kill this guy? Arrow rain, that'll probably do. So that will probably, yeah, there we go. So that will kill him, and then he will drop a spectral dust. And what you want to do with the spectral dust is, right, so just because we used that guy, what you want to do is you want to get 3 more of those guys, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to place down your imbuement table. And to make the imbuement table work, as you can see, this one is not working. This one is working over here. To make it work, you will need these things called receptacles. And to craft a receptacle, it's going to be 3 gold nuggets, or 3 gold ingots, and a flower pot. And that'll give you one of these. So you want to make 4 of them, and then you're going to, I'll just show you. You want to shift and right click on the side of the imbuement table, all 4 of them, and then you want to right click your spectral dust that you got from the remnant on these. And when you do that, they will light up, and now this is ready to be used. So now we're going to use our wizard hat. You can also use magical crystals too, but we're going to use the wizard hat first off. And whoops, that was not what I meant to do. Place the wizard hat there, and as you can see, it's now working. There's a nice little glow coming off of it, and nice sound effect, and boom, there we go. We got ourselves the pyromancer hat. So this is the way that you can actually get all the different elemental armor in the mod, and the same thing with the wands as well. So we'll go to the imbuement altar here, and this is a list of all the different recipes you can get. You can get the different spells this way by using the imbuement altar with the spectral dust and stuff. You can get some of them by basically combining different types of dust together and a ruined spellbook, and that'll give you your crazy looking. So some of them will be very nuts, and some of them will be like kind of mild. So it depends, but wherever you want, this is basically the way to get them. You'll have to look up the imbuement altar recipes in order to craft the different spells and stuff. Then there's this, which is basically how to get different types of magical crystal. So you want to combine your magic crystal with, I'll show you this in just a second, with your 4 different spectral dusks to get that. And there's also all the different armor. So as you can see, we made the pyromancer one, which is right here. But you can also make the ice one using ice spectral dust, or the storm one using lightning spectral dust, and the same thing with the other elements. You get the idea. And the same thing goes for the rest of the armor too, to craft full sets of wizard armor. So I'll show you what I mean by the crystal now. So we can put the crystal in there, and we'll put in our 4 spectral dust. And now it's working. And again, we got a nice little sound effect and a nice little glow effect. And boom, there we go. Now we have a fiery crystal. And what we can do with the fiery crystal is we can make all the elemental ones. And these are really good if you want to specify like into one different area of the mod. So if you want to focus on one element in particular, for example, you want to focus on being an ice wizard or something like that, you can make the ice wizard armor, and you can also make the ice wizard wand. Same thing with the rest of them. So you can craft each one by basically switching out the magical crystal that we used for the original wand with whichever crystal you want to make. So we can use the fiery crystal, for example, to make the wand of embers by switching out the magical crystal in the recipe for the fiery crystal. So gold nugget, a stick, and whatever crystal you want to make that wand. And then you can upgrade them in the arcane workbench. I'll just show you an example of that. So we'll use the wand of mystery here, for example. Now what we need to do is need to put in the upgrade here, and the way to do that is by putting in our different tomes. So we'll put in each 3 of these. So we got apprentice, and do that, and advanced, and then master. And now we've got the Master Sorcerer one. As you can see, it says plus 60% sorcery potency. So this will increase your effect of whatever type of elemental wand. You'll get plus 60% at Master. So it increases by 20% every time you upgrade it for each element. So back over here, we can see all the lists of the 7 different master ones. So plus 60% healing potency, plus 60% fire potency, all the different stuff. So yeah, it just means that your spells will be extra effective when you use the wand to cast those spells in particular, like the element. So say I was casting a necromancer spell with the necromancy wand, and it would be extra strong because of the plus 60% potency. And finally, you can also upgrade your wizard armor. You can do this basically by using these little artifact thingies. So, as you can see, these are the artifacts. There's currently 3 of them. So we can use this one, and this one to upgrade our armor. So we can put our chest piece in here, for example, and we can put in this. And this will basically turn our armor into warlock robes. Actually, I think there's more than just 3. Hold on. Yeah, sorry, my bad. So this is the arcane workbench here. You can use the resplendent thread with your hat to make it into a sage hat. You can use the crystal silver plating with your hat to turn it into a battle mage hat. Also, I meant to say, these guys up here are got by trading with wizards, so just keep that in mind. So you can kind of branch into 3 different factions, as you were. So you have the resplendent thread with the wizard hat will give you the sage hat. The crystal silver plating with the wizard hat will give you the battle mage hat. And the ethereal crystal weave with the wizard hat will give you the warlock hood. So there's 3 different ones you can get. There's warlock, there's battle mage, and then there's sage. So sages are kind of like slow and more focused on healing and defense, whereas battle mage are focused on like offense and doing a lot of damage. And then there's warlocks, which are like super focused on like speed and kind of high defense and stuff. So this is what each one of the classes looks like. So this over here is the sage, and then there's the warlock, and then there is the battle mage. So each of them have their own perks. So like, as you can see, I'll go to the sage, for example. The sage gets plus or minus 20% other element cost. So it's just cheaper to use the mana on different spells and stuff. And then there's the battle mage, who has ward 1 effect at all times and minus 5% cooldown. And ward 1, I believe, makes you use less mana or something, and your cooldown is definitely shorter because of that, with the minus 5% cooldown, which is really, really good. Then there's the warlock robes, and this is minus 10% cooldown, and it has plus 20% movement speed. So I would argue that the warlock one is the best of the 3 because it has the most perks, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's just what I would use. So you can also, as I said, combine those over in your imbuement table, and you can turn them into different elemental ones. So you can turn into like a pyromancer battle mage if you want. You can be an ice warlock if you want. All these different things. There's a lot of different customization. That's why this mod is so cool, in my opinion. So yeah, that's all I'm going to cover today in the Wizardry mod. It's a huge mod, so I'm not going to get through absolutely every little detail. There's a lot in it, so it would just take too long, realistically. But you guys can go check it out for yourself. It's such a cool mod. I'd highly recommend it. It's the best Wizardry mod I've seen by far. Ever brought to Minecraft. It's currently for 1.12.2, but I'm hoping in the future they'll upgrade it to 1.16 or something, because 1.12 is kind of an older version now. But yeah, this mod is so sick. There's like so many abilities. As I said, like there's 100 or something different abilities, and yeah, I've barely touched the edge of the iceberg with this. So like I want you to go off and like explore for yourself the different look how cool that is. That's so sick. Go off and explore the different abilities yourself, or the different spells, because I haven't even explored most of them. I've only explored like maybe 20 of them in total. So yeah, you should go off and explore the rest, I think. But yeah, that will do it for this mod show, guys. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. That'd be very much appreciated. And if you have any suggestions for any other mods I should use or showcase, then please do let me know. Also, if you want to download this mod, it'll be available in the description of the video down below. It is currently for 1.12.2. So that will do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.